Okay, so recently John Cordy did a great video about kind of using his Fender Pro Reverb and cranking it to 10. And he even made, I think, a Kemper Capture from that. And it sounded really good, and it kind of inspired me to kind of look at using the Quad Cortex in that kind of driven Fender tone. If you've watched a lot of my videos, you've probably seen I don't use the Fender amps a whole bunch. I never find that they kind of really inspire me. And I definitely don't think about the Fender amps when I want to get a driven tone. So for me, this is kind of, hey, let's try it out and see how it looks on the Quad Cortex. And so what I've done today is I put together two presets. One's taking a look at the amp models, a few of the variations of the Fender amps on the Quad Cortex, and kind of having those just, the only thing is just crank them to 10 and see how they sound, tweak the EQ to make them sound as best as I can. And then I've got another preset we'll go through in a bit that I grabbed a few captures off the Cortex Cloud that are kind of driven versions of Fender amps. And I figured we kind of compare them and see how it sounds and see what we can come up with. So let's go through the preset here real quick. So all the amps are running through either a dual IR, and I'm using a couple of the free IRs from Amalgam. I'll put the link in the description. There's also a cabinet in here. It's a 212 Zilla open. I'm using the IRs mostly, but I put the cabinet in here in case you wanted to use that instead. And then on the back end, we've got a reverb, a plate reverb into a analog delay just to give some ambience. And then on the front end, I'm using this Tube Screamer capture that I think Rabia did. So we can test out pushing the front of the amps. And so I've set this preset up. It's set up to be in stomp mode. As you can see here, what I've got is I've got stomp down here that lets you switch between the two different types of cabinets. I've got the 5 different amps. We've got a Twin, Super Reverb, Princeton, the Tweed, and a Tweed, a Bassman. So let's start with the Twin. So if we look here, we've got a volume on 10. We pulled the bass back, pushing the mids a little bit, pushing the trebles. We got the bright on. And I'm using a Strat style guitar today. Seems like the best option when we're talking about Fender amps. And right now I'm on the neck pickup. I switch to the bridge, which is a humbucker. So you can hear this one doesn't have tons of gain on it. If we kick it with the Tube Screamer, and the Tube Screamer, I am pushing the volume a little bit just to kind of push the front of the amps a little bit more, but I'm pulling back a little of the treble. So overall, I like the Twin. It's not got tons of gain on it. So let's switch to the Super Reverb. You can see here, again, volume is pegged, bass pulled back, a little more treble on this one, and it sounds like this on the neck pickup. On the bridge. And we put the Tube Screamer. So it's interesting. I think on their own, I like the Twin better than the Super Reverb, but I think the Super Reverb almost does better with the Tube Screamer than the Twin does. But let's move on to the Princeton. And again, volume's on 10, bass pulled back, treble up, and see what we got. I like this one. It's kind of a nice chewy tone on the neck pickup. And let's try the bridge. And let's kick it with a tube screamer. Let's try an in-between position. I'll go to the 4 position. Neck. Let's switch between them. So I think with the 2 screamer of the 3, I like the Princeton best. Although the Super Reverb sounds good too. They all sound pretty good. And again, none of them are super high gain. So let's go ahead and go to the ones that are a little more higher gain. This is the Tweed Twin. And you can see here, we get the volumes cranked, bass is pulled back, a little bit of mid, a good amount of treble and presence. This is the bridge pickup. So you can hear the Tweed obviously has a lot more gain on tap than the others do. Let's hit it with the tube screamer. We're getting into like a really crunchy tone here. So the Tweed definitely has more on tap, and the Bassman's pretty similar. So if we switch to that, again, everything's cranked, bass is back. So all these Fenders, I found you pull the bass back, otherwise they get a little boomy and too loose on the bottom end. But we're pushing the treble and the presence. Try the neck pickup. You can hear, I mean, the lower end is pretty loose on this one. Let's hit it with the tube screamer. So again, I think the Tweed and the Bassman are kind of obviously much different than the other amps in terms of the amount of gain you're getting. But I think they all sound pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's switch over to a few captures that I found. So you can see the overall preset setup is the same. I'm going to switch into scene mode here. I had pulled down probably 7 or 8 captures from the Cortex Cloud just to kind of try sampling. Obviously there's tons more out there, but I just wanted to pull some down, and definitely pulled down from maybe, you know, some captures from people that I hadn't tried before. So I didn't do any of like the Tone Junkie ones or anything like that. I wanted to pull down from folks I really didn't know much about. And the preset setup's the same. We've got our cabinets on the back end, reverb and delay, and the same tube screamer on the front. And the way I've set this up in scenes is I've got the 3 different amps, and 2 of them are Princeton's, one's a Super Reverb, and then I've got a separate scene that turns on the tube screamer. So let's start out with this Princeton. And you can see I've got the volume pulled back a little bit just for kind of balancing the levels. I really like this one a lot. It's kind of nice. A really nice touch sensitivity to it. It's a good capture. We kick that with a tube screamer. Really nice. It's a really good capture. So let's check out the other Princeton Capture. This one was a little lower gain, so I pushed the gain level on the capture a little bit, and I'm pushing the volume back again just to balance the levels. Hit that one with a tube screamer. So again, it's you know, they're similar. Obviously, it's the same kind of amp, but they both sound pretty good. Now for the Super Reverb, and you can see Super Reverb 10. It's a vintage one. Again, I'm pushing a little more gain on this one just to get a little more crunch to it. Let's kick that one with the Super Reverb. So, some good aggressiveness. So I'll put both of these presets out on the Cortex Cloud for you to download and try them out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm pretty happy with this. I think there's some good options if you want that cranked Fender tone on the Quad Cortex, either through the models or there's obviously a lot of great captures out there as well. So I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.